And if you're going to be that person who gives up, you'll never know what you could have achieved. You'll just remain in a place where nothing gets better about you. You're just the same. Nothing grows, nothing excels, nothing transforms. So if you want to make this a transformative year, you're going to have to be very, very, very intentional. Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here. My name is Shanti. This is a bit of a random video. Like, this kind of conversation has been playing on my mind a lot, and I just thought, why not just make a quick video for encouragement, as it's almost the end of January and we're going into a new month. And I realized that whenever we have like a new year, it's just so exciting, and you feel like it's going to be a different season for you. Things are really going to change, start to take shape. Things are just going to be overall different and better. Out with the old and in with the new. But I want to tell you that at least 80% of people who set New Year's resolutions or New Year's goals or achievements or any form of aspirations, these tend to fail past January. So this video is to really encourage you to not be the 80% but be the 20 who actually make it past the January blues of setting New Year's goals, and actually see these achievements work throughout the year of 2025. So if this is something that interests you, then you literally need to keep watching this video. So commonly with a lot of goals and New Year's resolutions, I think a lot of us enter these aspirations with just motivation alone, and a lot of it is based on feelings without placing some sort of system, routine, habit change, reflection, process of how you're going to actually make these things possible. So something that I stopped doing, that a lot of people encourage when you go into a new year, is vision boards. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with literally creating a vision board, but I feel like if there's a vision board with no action or system or process behind it, it's going to be pointless. You're looking at these visual depictions of what you want your dream life to be like, but it's just based on wishful thinking. And I really had to reevaluate how I approached my goals, how I was actually going to achieve these things, and what systems that I was going to do to put in place so that they can actually be doable. Because let's be real, doing things based on motivation or feelings is so fleeting, and like, you could feel motivated one day and it's just like, yeah, I'm conquering these things, and you could have a bad day and your feelings tell you otherwise, or you may wake up and not feel as bothered to get certain things done. We don't want to be dictated by how we feel and what the day throws at us. We want to be able to be individuals who, no matter what, we bypass how we feel and we look at the bigger picture and we look at the bigger goal, which is, if I don't continue in these strides of making positive steps towards progress, then inconsistency is going to be a really big reality for me. And that's something that we're trying to avoid, is having inconsistent patterns when we are up one day, we're down the next day, we're up one day, we're up for maybe 1 week, and then it's completely down in the gutter. We're trying to eradicate these things and build proper systems that actually work. So here are some things I'm going to share with you. SMART goals. This is something I've been loving so much. For me, it feels life-changing, and that's really why I want to share it with you also. So SMART is basically an acronym. So it stands for Specific, Measurable, Attainability, Relevance, and Time. So the specific is just getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. Like, what is it specifically that you want to do? So for example, if I wanted to lose weight, that's still kind of vague, it's still kind of broad. So to make it really specific, you have to write, I want to lose, for example, 10 pounds. That's the goal. So to now make that goal measurable, you're going to have to add in the objective measure of success. Okay, so how are we going to make this goal now measurable? If your overall goal is to lose 10 pounds, let's say you want to lose 2 pounds within 1 month. So that's the measurable goal. The measurable goal is to lose 2 pounds in 1 month. Then how are you going to action this measurable goal? It could be, I'm going to now meal prep 3 meals every day for the next 5 days. So now you've put a system in place that will help you have a balanced diet. You can manage and track your eating, the types of foods that you're going to be cooking, so you have something that you're going to stick to, so that it will help your eating habits push you further towards that end goal. So then you're going to ask yourself, what is the relevance? You're always going to need to have a why behind the thing that you're doing, or it might just be pointless. You need to understand the reason behind it so that it supports and sustains your consistency. The why could be: you want to develop better eating habits, you want to lose weight in order to support good health. These are the reasons that you need to think about. What is the reasons why behind it? And let that why be clear and relevant. Then you have your timely measure. What is the overall time frame of you now losing this 10 pounds? Is it going to be 3 months? Is it going to be 6 months? Do you see how when you break it down and you get really specific and that you add systems into your approach, you have something to follow, a guideline that is clear and that it makes sense to you. Secondly, try and break down big goals into smaller actionable tasks rather than having just an enormous list of all these things that you want to get done, but it's overwhelming and it's too much because you can't give the time, you can't give the energy, and there's so much other things that you may have that's demanding of you in your personal life. So try not to overwhelm yourself with so many things. I think when you strategize and you plan and you focus on what matters and what's important right now in this season, it's just going to make all the other things fall into place a lot easier. Try not to overwhelm yourself with like all these massive goals. Try to break them down into smaller, actionable tasks. So they say that it takes 66 days to build a habit, and we have 365 days in a year, so that's basically equivalent to about 5 positive habits that you can really solidify and build in the year. So instead of trying to do all these habits at once, try and focus on one habit, build that, grow that, develop that habit so that it's a solid thing in your everyday routine and that you kind of get past that 66-day benchmark before implementing another one. So something for me was reading. I wanted to read a lot more this year, and I have just been doing maybe a few pages here and there, maybe a chapter a day, so that I can really build the new habit of reading. And it's been great because it's building my knowledge, it's helping me not time waste. I'm also finding ways to improve myself and better myself, and for me that has been fueled by reading or even listening to certain podcasts that are very educational, that develop me as a businesswoman, as someone who wants to be overall more confident. Tap into these things and make you better, but don't try to overload yourself with a whole load of habits, and that will kind of tease on motivation. We don't want that. We want to stay consistent, and it's always about doing things as a process instead of everything all at one time. We don't want to burn out. Another thing which is really, really good to do is checking the progress of your goals and evaluation. Regularly checking in and understanding your progress, what went well, what didn't go well. So always make time to just, maybe you can do like a weekly checking of all the positive things that were happening, all the negative things that were happening, the things that you want to do better in, the highs, the lows. Have a sit back, but do it as frequently as you need. Some people may do it once a week, some people may do it once a month, some people may do it every quarter, so they may do it Q1 or Q2, Q3, Q4 of the year. It's entirely up to you, but I would highly emphasize the importance of doing regular check-ins and monitoring your progress. And the final thing that I want to leave you with is, don't give up just because it's hard. Life is hard, things are hard, and if you're going to be that person who gives up, you'll never know what you could have achieved, you'll never know what you could have done, because you never seen it through, you never pushed through the difficulty. And I feel like it's when you say yes to those hard days, you'll realize how much easier it is. If you can't see the results that you want immediately, don't worry, because they will come. And it's always that person who overcomes doubt, who overcomes the difficult days, who overcomes the moments where you feel beat down and nothing's working, is always that person who realigns their mindset so that they can really remembers why they are doing this thing. What's the why? It's always good to write things down so you remember the reason why that you're doing this. Like, visual things are good, but I think there is so much power in writing things down so that they can actually be a lot more achievable. And there are studies that do say that when you write something down, when a person writes something down, they are more likely to achieve that. Don't be somebody who gives up when it gets tough. Really evaluate, look at the things that you could be doing better, whether you're a time waster. It's hard when you have to face uncomfortable truths about yourself, because it can be difficult to come face to face with these things because they don't always feel nice. But if you don't have that confrontation, if you don't have that honest evaluation with yourself, you'll just remain in a place where nothing gets better about you. You're just the same. Nothing grows, nothing excels, nothing transforms. So if you want to make this a transformative year, you're going to have to be very, very, very intentional about making it work. So although January is done, that doesn't mean that you quit and stop your goals. Remember what I said at the beginning of this video? 80% of people and their New Year's resolutions fail and they go straight into the bin. We're trying to be that 20 that defeat the odds. So I hope that this video has been an encouragement for you. Don't give up. Don't give up, because you'll look back by the end of this year and be so thankful that you didn't. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video.